Hello. I have something very exciting to say to the women listening today. You know, we've all read Proverbs 31. It's that woman we love to hate. She did it all, and she didn't seem to have any flaws. And she made lots of money, wonderful family. She had a staff. Oh, that's the life. But you know, that's the kingdom life too. But I want to remind you that she only did the things that God called her to do. And that's true for you and for me. He's not going to expect us to be her or to do things that we're not called to do. For any purpose that He has given us, He's already equipped us with the talents, the skills, and the ability to do it. But there is a secret in the Hebrew language about this woman that I want to share with you, because when I heard it, I got very excited. The word virtuous that is translated in Hebrews or in Proverbs 31:10, who can find a virtuous woman? Her value is prized higher than rubies. Well, remember, we must know that when a language is translated, as it was from the Latin into the English and so forth, that it loses a little bit. And it's also adapted to the culture of the day. And today we have translations that do the same thing. But the original Hebrew says that that word that's translated virtuous is the word Chay'il. Chay'il doesn't really mean virtuous as we understand it. It means a powerful, wealthy force to be reckoned with. Wow, that's how God sees women. But you know, I also want to caveat that by saying we're not talking about feminism or woman power as the world defines it, because we read on to say that not only was she a successful businesswoman and entrepreneur, but her children rose up and blessed her. They said that she was amazing, so that means she was a good mom. That means she was available in her home to be a good mom. And her husband, oh, he had many things to say about her. One of the most important things was his heart safely trusted in her because he had no fear of lacking money. Now, what does that say? That a lot of men today are bearing a burden of stress because they feel so obligated to provide for their family. And the scripture does say that a man should provide for his family, but that provision doesn't always have to be money. Sometimes it's emotional strength, it's spiritual counseling. And in this particular case, the woman's husband was an elder. It says that he was sat among the elders in the gates. That's an idiom that tells us that he mentored the younger men when they would come to Jerusalem for the Sabbaths and the festivals. And he was freed up to do that because she was so successful. No, she was not a threat to her husband. She was his greatest asset. And I want to say to you that you can be an asset too. Even if you don't have a husband, would you like to be a woman who's successful in her own right? She lives by her own rules, and those rules, of course, are submitted to the rules of the kingdom. Speaking of the kingdom, how do you get there? Well, it says in Matthew 6:33, "Seek ye first the kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things are added unto you." But if we roll over into Hebrews chapter 1, verse 6, it says that the scepter of the kingdom is the scepter of righteousness. So, what's really being said, and I think got lost a little in the translation, was that we're to seek the kingdom and the scepter of His righteousness, and then all these things will be added unto us. And then, guess what? The other scriptures start making sense. Remember the story of Esther when she was called to go before the king to ask to save the nation of Israel? But it was forbidden to approach the king uninvited. And if he did not extend his scepter to her, she would be killed. The penalty was death to approach the king uninvited. But when she went into the throne, she was not bold. She was a little timid, but he extended that scepter to her, and he said, "You have great favor. I will give you anything you ask, up to half my kingdom." Well, in the new covenant, where we live in the kingdom, that scepter is always extended to you and to me. And guess what? He's not going to give you half His kingdom. He's giving you all of it. That's part of the contract. So I would say that when you want to look to the future, the new economy that's emerging, think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Because as a mother, as a wife, as a woman, you have those gifts and talents. If you would like to learn more about this, visit my website at virtuouswoman.tv. Or you could call me toll-free at 877 892-9688. I bless you in everything to which you set your hand. You are a powerful, wealthy force to be reckoned with. So start living that wonderful adventure. Shalom Aleichem.